Today I want to show you what is a new feature in 10.3 and Exam Cloud, which is called Authoring Management API. So what is that in first place? Authoring and Management API is a powerful framework that allows you to control and manipulate your sidecar instance and items and do actual content management just by performing GraphQL requests to the authenticated URL. And there is documentation on site that covers it all. But briefly, to sum up what you can do all the operations around item, like create, delete them. You can upload media, and that will be my actual demo case I want to show you further ahead. You can also do things around security and workflow. You can reindex your built-in indexes, and you can do publishing, for example. In Exam Cloud, you can send the request that actually triggers publishing to Experience Edge. And with the next request, you can control the status of that publish, if that is completed successfully or if it's just yet in progress and queued up. You can also do things around rules engine and much, much more. So in order to start working with Authoring API, you need first to go to your deploy app, select your environment, and set up environmental variable. So we're talking about this variable, GraphQL export playground. So please make sure you set it up to true. If it's not true and you change it, you need to perform redeployment. So if you click build and deploy, it will take probably 10 maybe to 20 minutes for system to make redeploy, because these tokens, they are resolved in the build time. So once you get there, you can then actually start working with that. So I made this demo PowerShell script and 3 commandlets. We will take a look at them shortly. So to start with, every request you do against this API, it should be authorized with the JavaScript web token, and we need to get the one first. And in order to get the one, you need to have a client secret and client ID, so that you can have these values and authorize again this endpoint in order to receive the token. So I get these values from this user.json file, and this file contains both ID and secret and also authority and audience as soon as you do your first authentication with .NET Sidecar Cloud login command. So what actually I'm doing here is I'm just passing this JSON, getting these parameters, and I'm invoking a REST method request to this endpoint. I'm passing the payload of all these parameters, and actually that's it. I am getting the response that has access token, and I am returning it from this command line. So with the next stage, you need to perform a GraphQL mutation call to the endpoint, requesting for a pre-signed upload media URL. So this is the GraphQL query, and as I mentioned previously, all the further requests you need to execute having this JavaScript web token as the bearer for authorization. So we do pass it as a header here. So what I do, I execute this request, and I'm passing the endpoint URL, which I'm getting from the outer script. So that is my URL. This is my host name, Sidecar API Authoring GraphQL version 1. And I'm also passing the headers with the token, and I am passing the body that contains query. So once my call is getting success, I am presented with this upload media having pre-signed upload URL. So this URL has the upload folder encoded in it. So if you again look at this demo script, I'm asking to commit the upload into media library /default website /new media folder. So that is already encoded into that upload URL that has been returned. And the last stage is what I'm doing. I'm actually doing the upload media. And I'm passing that URL, I'm passing again JavaScript web token, and I'm passing a local file I have on my local system that I want to upload. So nothing specific in this upload script. I'm checking if the file exists, and again passing the Vera JavaScript web token, and I'm passing the local file as a form, convert it in JSON, and get the result. So let's execute that. Let's run it. If this script is successful, it returns me the details of the newly uploaded media, which will be ID, it will be path, and it will be the name. And one more thing I have done here is I created a webhook. And this is webhook for checking if a new item added. With the rule engine, I specify that it goes with this media library default website folder. So anything underneath this folder is created. There will be a webhook, and this webhook comes to this endpoint. This is a specific trap for requests, webhooks, that is done exactly to test things like webhooks and others. So there is nothing here. You see it's empty. And when I create the item, I expect it get trapped. And you see there's nothing. That's just two images here coming out of default. Right. Time to demo. Upload was successful. This is new item with this ID, BEF. Let's take a look here. This is my picture, my photograph, and yes, that's the item created. And if we come here, we see that trap got one request, and that was our actual webhook requesting this address. Let's see what it has, any payload. So this is a webhook ID, the ID of the webhook that triggered this request. It shows that item has been created. What else do we have? And yes, we have this all the details about the item. So B9EF is my picture. We have the whole context here, language, ID, name, parents. So all the things like that. And I think that was a good example of how it works, so that you can utilize my script and maybe it helps you automating something. I uploaded all my scripts into this GitHub, which is under my name, so you will see it has demo of uploading media item to XMCloud with an Authoring GraphQL API description. So there are all 4 PowerShell scripts here. I think you like it, and thanks for watching.